ain't hearing the Muslims going into prophecy, breaking down what's coming to pass on this earth, right? You're not hearing Jehovah Witnesses when they knocking on your door telling you, hey, World War III is on the rise. T.D. Jakes almost fell out in the church. He was at a Diddy party. He supposed to be a leader. He had Diddy parties, man, diddling. You said what, Elder? Unholy, man. Right, so I just want to touch on something real quick. Just be a spirit booster for brothers, man. We know we got Feast of Dedication coming up, and a lot of people don't know about the Maccabean revolt or the Hasmonean dynasty, man. That's going into the Maccabees during the time of the Greek captivity. And a lot of people don't understand that that's our forefathers. Those men were Israelites. They were Jews, man, from the tribe of Levi. They was the priests, right? And they was going crazy, man, right? They was warriors in them times. So I just want to get something out of there, going into 2 Maccabees chapter 11, just going into a little bit of it. And I make, Lord willing, we'll do a class on it, but just touch on a little bit of the Maccabees and what the brothers did.
It's the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 11, and verse 1. Not long after this, Lysias the king, protector and cousin, who also managed the affairs, took sore displeasure for the things that were done. And when he had gathered about 80,000 with all the horsemen, he came against the Jews, thinking to make the city an habitation of the Gentiles, and to make a gain of the temple, as of the other chapels of the heathen, and to set the high priesthood to sell every year.
So this is going into the Greek captivity. And in order to really understand when Paul was going into, there's no difference between Jew and Greek, and how he was going to all these different places. You got to understand what happened during the time of the Maccabees, man. A lot of our people were taking customs of the Greeks, and what he was just saying, what the brother was just reading, what his name, Lysias, right? He had gathered an army to try to make war against the Israelites, man, and all the other people around, right? Keep going.
Verse 4. Not at all considering the power of Yahweh, but puffed up with his 10,000s of footmen.
My bad. He wasn't considering the God of Israel during that time. He was so puffed up, feeling like, well, who gonna bring me down? Like America, like Donald Trump. He was puffed up, man. Like I got all this army. I got the military. I got all these soldiers. Ain't no way they finna come make war. He wasn't thinking about the Most High God, but he didn't know that the Most High God didn't deal with numbers. He didn't know about what happened with Gideon and 300 men. He didn't know about that.
And his thousands of horsemen, and his 80 elephants. So he came to Judea and drew near to Bethsura, which was a strong town, but distant from Jerusalem, about 5 furlongs. And he laid sore siege into it. Now when they that were with Maccabeus heard that he besieged the holds, they and all the people were lamentation and tears besought the Lord that he would send a good angel to deliver them.
So what they did during that time. So what they did during that time.
It says,
now when they that were with Maccabees heard that he besieged the whole, they and all the people with lamentation and tears besought the Lord that he would send a good angel to deliver Israel.
So they didn't when all hell was breaking loose, they didn't make haste and let's go to war, we gotta do this. They prayed to the Most High God. They mourned and prayed to the Most High God. And that's something that we gotta always keep in mind too, man. When all hell break loose, we gotta pray to the Most High God, man, before we make any move. Because that's what our forefathers did. They prayed to the Most High God for an angel to deliver them. They knew they was outnumbered. They knew, man, there's no way we outnumbered. We can't do this on our own. So we seek the Most High God because we are a spiritual people, right? The Israelites have always been a spiritual people. Like we were talking about yesterday, all the other nations are carnal. They put their trust in their military. They put their trust in their tanks. They put their trust in their government. But the Israelites, the righteous Israelites, right? They put their trust in the Most High God before anything, man. Before anything, whether we think it's something small or something big. we always supposed to seek the Most High God for guidance and to deliver us out of situations. And that's what they did. Second Maccabees 11 and I think
Then Maccabees himself, first of all, took weapons, exhorting the others that they would jeopardize themselves, together with him to help their brethren. So they went forth together with a willing mind.
That's why it's good to have a good leader, man. Have good leaders, have good brothers around you. Cause if he would have been, oh my God, I don't know what to do. He's scared. That would have rubbed off on everybody else. That's why the scripture saying the law, if you were scared when it was wartime and the brother was scared, the Lord said stay home. Don't go to war or go back home. Don't go to war and you scared because you're gonna have people get scared too. And you don't want no scary soldiers finna go to war and you look at the person beside you and he's shaking and saying, bro, I don't know if we can do it. Yeah, get him up out of Hey, that's what the brothers did, man. Gotta take his life, man, cause that's having fear around everybody else. And you don't want that in that time of war.
And as they were at Jerusalem, there appeared before them on horseback, one in white clothing, shaking his armor of gold.
So they just prayed for an angel. Now somebody pulling up what he said with a white what they had armor, what he had
white clothing, shaking his armor of gold.
So he had white clothing on, shaking his armor of gold. Now this is literally history, right? If you go into history, they will tell you that they call it the Hasmonean dynasty. They'll tell you that all this stuff happened, but they took it out the Bible though, because they don't want you to know that. But they know that this happened, man. Somebody came to war, helping the brothers. He had an all-white clothing on with gold on him, man. What he did?
Then they praised the merciful God altogether, and took heart, insomuch that they were ready not only to fight with men, but with most cruel beasts, and to pierce through walls of iron. Thus they marched forward in their armor, having a helper from heaven, for the Lord was merciful unto them.
It's like, man, so the brothers, what happened was the brothers seen that angel, that was sent from the Most High God to help them fight that war. They gained confidence, man. They were ready to fight against lions and wild beasts. Right? And we don't know that this is our people, man. We're not taught about the Maccabees. We talk about the Greeks in history school, in history class, but they never teach us about the Maccabees and what they did during the Greek captivity. You had an angel ready, the angel was literally with them, and they whole mindset changed. Because they knew the Most High God heard their prayers and that he was with them. Just like during the time of when you read about Gideon, right? The Lord told Gideon, hey, you're not gonna die. He already told Gideon, hey, you ain't gonna die. This gonna happen. So that gave Gideon that confidence, man, knowing that the Most High God is with him. And that's what happened with our people, man. That's why we gotta come back to our God, because he gonna be that person that's gonna fight for us. They ain't even have to really do nothing. Right. When you got an angel fighting for you, like what you really have to do, you know?
And giving a charge upon their enemies like lions, they slew 11,000 footmen and 1,600 horsemen, and put all the others to flight.
So how many, let's calculate that. How many people you said they slew? They do 11,000 plus what? 17,000. That was 17,000? So they slew 17,000 men. That's crazy, man. And this is our history right here. This is our history that they don't want us to know about. They already fear us now. We taking over football, UFC, basketball, soccer, you name it, we taking over, man. So just imagine if we had that war mentality like we do with these sports. Like just imagine if we had that war mentality of fighting for our laws and commandments and fighting for our nation. Nobody could mess with us, man.
Many of them also being wounded, escaped naked, and Lysias himself fled away shamefully. Shamefully, and so escaped, who, as he was a man of understanding, casting with himself what loss he had, and considering that the Hebrews could not be overcome because the Almighty God helped them, he sent unto them and persuaded them to agree to all reasonable conditions, and promised that he would persuade the king that he must need be a friend unto them.
So he forfeited basically. He was like, man, them Israelites too powerful, man. He bowed down, he waved the white flag. He's surrendering. He like, man, the God of the Israelites fighting for them. Ain't no way we finna overcome them. Now you see how powerful he is when we come back to our laws, man, and keep the commandments of God. We are powerful, man. And these other nations, they know that. That's why they don't want you to know who you is. Because they know if you come back to your God and start keeping your commandments, that he gonna fight for you, man. They really didn't have to do nothing, man. During that time, the angels, just imagine, that's just like just say you got in a fight with somebody. And then your big brother come in and be like, hey, I got this. You gonna be like, okay, you gonna calm down, you gonna relax, because it's your big brother. That's the same thing when that angel came and fought for us. We like, oh, we good. We ain't got nothing to worry about how many military troops they got. We good, right?
Then Maccabeus consented to all that Lysias desired, being careful of the common good. And whatsoever Maccabeus wrote unto Lysias concerning the Jews, the king granted it. For there were letters written unto the Jews from Lysias to the effect, Lysias unto the people of the Jews sent it greetings. John and Absalom, who were sent from you, delivered me the petition, subscribed and made request for the performance of the contents thereof.
You can start right there. This is what I want to real quick back to you. It's the second Maccabees, the first Maccabees, chapter 6. You can start at verse. You can start at verse 6 and 1. Let me see what 6 and 1 says. Go to verse.
First Maccabees chapter 6 and verse 30. So that the number of his army was 100,000 footmen and 20,000 horsemen and 32 elephants exercised in battle. These went through Idumea and pitched against Basura, which were assaulted many days, making engines of war, but they of Basura came out and burned them with fire, and fought valiantly. Upon this, Judah removed from the tower and pitched in Basura over against the king's camp. Then the king, rising very early, marched fiercely with his host towards Basura, where his army made them ready to battle and sounded the trumpet. And to the end they might provoke the elephants to fight, they shewed them the blood of grapes and mulberries.
So this is, man, hey, this is going into like, and that just shows you what we were just saying about how these nations put their trust in the carnal things. They got war elephants, man. They got all these soldiers finna come to war against us, little old us that they say we, you know what I'm saying, that they ain't got nothing to worry about them Israelites, they nothing. But he's getting all his army, elephants, war. I'm talking about, now we see an elephant, right? You know how big an elephant is. And just imagine that elephant getting ready, like it's hungry, and he's ready for war, and you the target. Just imagine that, man. And that's what's going on right now.
Verse 35, moreover, they divided the beasts amongst the army, and for every elephant they appointed 1,000 men, armed with coats of mail and with helmets of brass on their head. And besides this, for every beast were ordained 500 horsemen of the best. They were ready at every occasion, whethersoever the beast was and whithersoever the beast went.
So you gotta think too, like, they are literally ready for war. They literally got their best soldiers. These ain't no mediocre men that just done picked up a sword for the first time. These are trained soldiers, like trained professionals to go to war in certain situations, man. This was going on, but the Maccabees are really, they put that, you know how the military got like guerrilla tactics and stuff they do in the military? They really got that from us though. You know what I'm saying? We really got that stuff from us. But you had other nations trying to use that, they started seeing what we started doing, then they started trying to do that guerrilla tactic stuff against us.
They went also, neither departed they from him, and upon the beast were their strong towers of wood, which covered every one of them, and were girt fast unto them with devices. There were also upon every one 32 strong men that fought upon them, beside the Indian that ruled him. And for the remnants of the horsemen, they set them on this side and on that side, at the two parts of the host, giving them signs what to do, and being harnessed all over amidst the ring.
So you gotta think about this. If anybody seen that movie 300, that one I forgot what battle it was when the army was coming. I think it was one of the first battles they fought. When the army was coming and like the mountains and stuff was shaking. Like it was shaking. I think one of the army members thought it was a storm or something coming or something coming. He like, no, them are soldiers. And they came deep, man. They came deep. It was only 300 soldiers, and they got that from Gideon and 300. They got that movie from us, man. Because every time Israel went to war, 9 times out of 10, we was always outnumbered by our opponents. They always had more soldiers, had more military troops than us. Always, man. And that's what's going on now. They coming deep. They coming deep, bro. Like, we ain't talking about 300 soldiers. We ain't talking about 500 or 600 soldiers. We're talking about thousands of soldiers plus elephants, man. War elephants. They come to war against us. We ain't got all that. We ain't got no war elephants. We ain't got 1,000s of soldiers. We got the Most High God.
That's right. Verse 39. Now when the sun shone upon the shields of the gold and brass, the mountain glistered their whip that shined with lamps of fire. So part of the king's army being spread upon the high mountains and part of the valley below, they marched on safely and in order. Wherefore all that heard the noise of their multitudes and the marching of the companies of the rattling of the harness were moved. For the army was very great and mighty.
That's going to say that army was great. You gotta think, just imagine you looking at that. You seeing all these thousands of troops coming to war to make war with you, and then you see them ride on these big elephants. They can put fear in a man. But what happened?
Verse 42. Then Judah and his host drew near and entered into battle, and there was slain of the king's army 600 men.
So they slain Judas, which aka the hammer. They slew 600 men, and he hopped in the battle. Judas didn't run. He didn't flee. He hopped into that thing, man. That's why he got his name, the hammer, right?
Eleazar also surnamed Savernus, perceiving that one of the beast's armor with royal harness was higher than all the rest, and supposing that the king was upon him, put himself in jeopardy to the end he might deliver his people and get him a perpetual name. Wherefore he ran upon him courageously through the midst of the battle, slaying on the right hand and on the left hand, so that they were divided from him on both sides. Which done, he crept under the elephant and thrust him under and slew him. Whereupon the elephant fell down upon him, and there he died.
So, and he did that, you know what I'm saying, for his nation. He wanted his name to remember righteously. He got it, because we talking about him right now in 2024. That's a movie scene. He running in the midst of battle, right? Slaying somebody on the left, slaying somebody on the right. While he running, he might have 2 swords in his hand. Shing, while he running the battle. Then he get under the war elephant, thrust the war elephant, like under the war elephant, thrusting, kill the war elephant, and the war elephant fall on him, man. That's an honorable death. He went out like a, you know how the world say, he went out like a G. Right? He went out like a G for his nation, man. And that's how we gotta be in that day. We gotta go out. We gotta go out. Be willing to go out for our brothers, man. You know, cause he wasn't scared. He didn't like. I don't know if I want to do this. He didn't run. He didn't believe his brothers. He was like, man, I'm finna kill. Just like how we be saying, like, well, I ain't gonna say cause the camera on. But you know how some. I ain't gonna say it. But keep going. It's some more than that.
Then the king army went up to Jerusalem to meet him, to meet them. And the king pitched his tent against Judah and against Mount Sion. But when them that were in Bethsura, he made peace. But they came out of the city because they had no victuals there to endure the siege. It being a year of rest to the land, so the king took Bethsura and set a garrison there to keep it.
You can start right there, King. So yeah, man, I just want to touch on that a little bit, man, just to show, you know, just a little bit of our history and, you know, just the Maccabees, man. We gotta always remember that. That's why the Lord gave us a feast of dedication and day to honor our forefathers and of us rededicating our temple, man. So I just wanted to touch on that. And I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah. Kwame Yasharala.
Kwame Yasharala.
Kwame Yasharala.
Kwame Yasharala.
Kwame Yasharala.
Kwame Yasharala.
Death to America.
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 Come on.